with American Shaman CBD.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it.
790 AM, 94.1 FM, KFShow.com, the KF Show mobile app. Follow 790 KF Show on Twitter. Like the KF Show Morning Crew on Facebook.
Licensed registered dietitian Elizabeth McGee joining us now on the KFGO Morning Crew. Does that have a nice ring to it, Elizabeth?
You know, I think it really has a great ring to it.
So now you got married. Congratulations. And your last name is now McGee. So does that mean you now have turned into a junk food junkie?
I think there's always been a little junk food junkie hiding inside of me. Maybe this will bring it out more.
But I like that because you are a licensed registered dietitian, despite that, you still are human like the rest of us, and you've got your, I guess, downfalls when it comes to food or snacks.
That is true.
Well, let's dig into Thanksgiving. And when it comes to making Thanksgiving choices, can you significantly take your Thanksgiving dinner and turn it into a healthier option by picking from white meat to dark meat, from sweet potatoes or mashed potatoes? I mean, can you really go through and make like 5 different choices that are going to change the dynamics of your meal?
You definitely could, but I think if we were asking for a show of hands, not many people are going to be willing to do it. But you certainly could make significant changes if you wanted to.
Thanksgiving only comes around once a year.
Right. And it's a food centered around eating and family. So I don't think many people are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to really try to be healthier this year.
When it comes to making some of those healthy choices, where would be some areas that you can make a difference in a healthier Thanksgiving meal?
Honestly, the biggest thing that I would do, I'm not even going to call out different foods here, your portions of everything. Just watch your portions, really, and make sure that you've eaten a good breakfast that day, I think, because if you're starving yourself up until mealtime, that's not going to be helpful. But I think if you look at the foods that we eat for Thanksgiving, a lot of them are high in fat, high in calories. They're rich foods. They're delicious foods. So I think it's more manageable to try to watch your portions versus skip something that you really like and watch everybody else around the table enjoy it.
Without saying it, what I'm hearing is banking up calories isn't advisable.
No, it generally doesn't work out. You usually end up eating way more. And if you skip your breakfast, you maybe have 300 calories that you banked. You're probably going to way overdo it anyway.
Licensed registered dietitian Elizabeth McGee joining us here on the KFGO Morning Crew. And I like that strategy, especially if it's special food, you only have it once a year to just watch your portions. And then maybe if there's something on the table that you don't like, instead of trying to be polite about it, maybe skip over that.
That's what I would do. You know what? I really could care less if I had mashed potatoes or if I had stuffing. So I'm just not going to be the person who's going to take a portion of that just to make somebody else, feel okay. And not that I mean anything mean by it, but get the foods that you really don't care to have.
Yeah, and it seems like, too, at Thanksgiving or Christmas time, whatever holiday it is, it seems like we really add on the calories and the flavors, whether you're putting, some people will put cream cheese in their mashed potatoes. Some people will put heavy whipping cream.
Right.
It does taste better. There's no doubt about it.
It is delicious. But if you don't really care one way or another, skip it. Or just, have a small portion. Have like an ice cream scoop portion. Mashed potatoes, whether they're sweet potatoes or regular potatoes, they're really easy to overeat on because, you don't even need to chew. You can just fill her up.
And I know different families, it's a different tradition for them. Some like pecan pie, some do apple, some do pumpkin.
Yeah.
If they are maybe they like all of them, and they're maybe trying to pick the best of those in terms of healthiness, which one?
Well, pecan pie is high in calories and sugar, so that's probably going to be the loser no matter what you pit it up next to. But pumpkin pie can be a decent calorie choice. And if you love pumpkin pie and you're not going to let yourself eat that on Thanksgiving, you're going to be just disappointed no matter how you spin it. So pumpkin pie is probably going to win. Apple pie can be okay too. Sometimes it comes down to the crust and how much crust. And then also how much maybe are you using like real whipped cream or are you putting a bunch of ice cream on it?
Oh, ice cream.
That'll add up too.
Oh, yeah. And then you back up to the sweet potatoes, too. Generally, I would imagine sweet potatoes are healthy, but then you get that marshmallow topping some people like to put on it.
Right, that's just it. And if you're me, then I would only be eating the marshmallow topping off of the sweet potatoes and not eating the sweet potatoes. So we can ruin the healthiness of sweet potatoes just as we can ruin, mashed potatoes by putting cream or cream cheese, whatever it is. So just because it started out as a healthy food, it might not end that way.
Okay, but the bottom line, like you say, Elizabeth, it's a once a year holiday, so enjoy what you have there.
I am much more concerned with how we're eating every other day during the year over holidays. So
And
enjoy it.
what about movement? Will that help to settle it down? So once we eat, we stuff ourselves silly. We have that 1,500 calorie lunch because then we have to eat dinner, supper again about what, 4 or 5 o'clock and put another 1,500 in?
Exactly. Yeah, whenever the snack tray comes back out. I would say be active if you can. Go out. I don't have no idea if it's going to be nice or not. Go out for a walk. Schedule your regular workout, whatever it is. I'm currently signed up to work out at 7:30 on Thanksgiving, so I'm hoping that I stick with that and don't press the snooze instead of getting up.
Good for you. And even if somebody works out, say, every single day and they skip that day and they overindulge, like just get back on track the following day?
Yes, nothing bad is going to happen, I promise. We all get days off sometimes. So enjoy your meal and, think about good eating the other days of the week.
Yep, and celebrate and give thanks. You bet. Elizabeth, thanks for
Yeah.
your time this morning. Congratulations on the
Thank you.
wedding. And we'll
Thank
catch you
you.
next week. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
That's licensed registered dietitian Elizabeth McGee joining us here on the KFGO Morning Crew. She joins us every Tuesday around 7:40, answering our health and nutrition questions. 7:47, we head to the Weather Cave with Too Tall Tom Szymanski. Are pies generally on your Thanksgiving table?
Yep, pecan's my favorite.
Pecan, yeah. My
And
mom has
pumpkin,
made it
but
a
pecan more.
few times, but we were more of my mother would make multiple. So she'd do blueberry, she would do, because we picked our own wild berries, blueberry, pumpkin, sometimes cherry, because there was a couple in the family that would do cherry, and sometimes apple, but pecan was kind of more of a rarity, but it's good.
Oh yeah, Jenna makes the greatest pecan pie. She makes them for several friends and family too. So it's on the must-do list during the holidays. So
I
know there's a lot of sugar in it, but whatever.
Right, it's once a year, and maybe you'll have it for 3 days or however much is that.
Right.
But do you even care? Like things, I just eat like a horse, like everybody.
Well, I used
like a
to.
lot of us do at Thanksgiving.
I try not to eat too much anymore because I just am too familiar with how awful it feels after.
Yeah, you don't want to feel miserable. I shouldn't say, okay, so I'll eat, a good
Right.
lunch. It's more than you would normally eat, for a regular lunch. And then, because I always want to have supper too.
Right.
So I don't go
Pacing yourself,
crazy.
right?
Yeah, we've learned. Same thing. You learn if you're miserable after a big feast. It's like hopefully you learn by the next time it rolls
The
around.
metabolism was not what it used to be.
That's for sure.
Plus the tryptophan, but that's a whole other issue. I want to stay awake for football. We all want to do that.